All right, let's get this show on the road. Hope everybody's having a good day. My name is Adam Capre. I'm a regional manager here at Anajet, and this whole webinar, it says Achieving More with the Empower, but we're also going to discuss the sprint. There's going to be a lot that we're going to have a chance to go over. A couple quick points before we move forward. I'm sure everybody's going to have a lot of questions. We do have a question and answer segment at the very end of the webinar. So if you have questions, if you could save them until then, you can actually shoot me the question right in the little chat box down at the bottom. Also, one other thing is we're having, for everybody who is attending this webinar, we've decided to put together a special promotion on any of our 3 printers, the Empower 10, Empower 5, or Sprint. So that being said, after this webinar, if you'd like to take advantage of our Thanksgiving promotion, contact your regional manager, and they'll be able to go over the details of the deal specific to you. We try to tailor it to your needs. So make sure you reach out to us. We'll be happy to put something together for you. It'll be good up until the 21st of November. All right, let's get it going. So today we're going to talk about a few different things, but here's our quick broad strokes on our agenda. We're going to talk about the direct-to-garment industry and its market. And I'm going to try to spend a lot of time going over the market and what's available to you. We're going to talk about different challenges that you might experience with your current business, whether it be competition or otherwise. And then some of the business advantages on how you can overcome that type of competition. We'll go into detail about the Empower printer, the Empower 5 and 10. Then segue into the Sprint garment printer. We'll talk about the economics of it, the cost to produce, the potential sale price, all those things. We'll review a couple customer success stories. And at the very end, let me have that question and answer session. So let's get going. So why direct-to-garment printing? Digital apparel printing is the future. We can look at it from the standpoint of Kodak, for example, being a great example of a company that kind of missed the boat a little bit. They were all in film, and as soon as digital cameras came along, their computer technology. Look at what you have in your pocket, your smartphone. You have a computer in your smartphone. That's the way the world is progressing. And with a digital application like a garment printer, you're going to give yourself a lot more advantages to what maybe your local competitor has, you have to diversify. You have to set yourself up to have the opportunity to do any type of business, not just specifics, i.e., for example, a screen printer who has to have a minimum order or a certain amount of colors. With the competitors that are out there, you have to create a competitive edge, whether it's with the type of product that you can put out. There's no point in competing with a screen printer who's doing 500 one-color shirts. That's not where this business is. There's increased competition through web and social media. Give you the chance to branch out. And we're going to talk more about that with the Inksoft application that we're going to give you guys, this online website with purchase of any of our products. Give you a dominant web presence. Screen printing, promotional products, signs, large format. It's time to separate yourself from the pack. Offer more. One-stop shop. Be there to do anything. So why should you specifically get into digital printing right now? Well, garment decoration in the United States is a $44 billion industry. Garment printing is $23 billion of that industry. Okay, garment decoration includes embroidery, transfers, things, all that nature. And as of 2007, the garment printing industry was 99% screen printing and 1% digital direct printing. And we point this out to really focus on the fact that there's only one way to go, and that is in 2007. I'd love to get some current statistics on this because I would bet that we're upwards about 5 to 10% of the market now. The growth that just Anajet has seen over the last 3-4 years, especially in a tougher economic time, has been so substantial that we're on the radar of successful companies out there that have been growing. And it's strictly because digital is the future of it. So who leads the industry? This was done by, and I'm prefacing this for a reason, this was done by a firm called IT Strategies. They did an independent survey on the garment printing industry. They determined that in 2010, worldwide, Anajet had a 45% market share, which means 4.5 out of 10 printers that were sold were Anajet. In North American market, 6 out of 10 were Anajet. Third-party study, completely different from us. Now, there is a margin of error here, and we really didn't think we covered 60%. We thought more about 50%, but I think we point this out to show you that the potential with Anajet is you're with the top. You're with the best of the best. And I'm sure you can see some of those other names that might look familiar to you. DTG, Brother, Belquet, Kornit, all the other ones, Mamaki, et cetera. All great companies, but you can see where Anajet's position is. So here's some challenges. Across the board, production equipment can be a costly investment. It's a new technology. There's a learning curve, no doubt about it. Smaller jobs currently can result in almost no margins. There's a continuous need to attract new clients. You have a competitive edge and a high customer service push to lock in repeat buyers and clients. That's the best, isn't it? When you can do a job for somebody and they come back to you a month later, 2 months later, and you got another one, and then all of a sudden you have that job year after year after year after year. Lead. From surveys we did for customers that contacted us about garment printing. Why are you looking into garment printing? Why are you trying to separate yourself right here? And these are the reasons. High volume digital apparel printer. It's easy to learn from multiple product lines. Sweatshirts, T-shirts, there's even some other applications, hats and things like that we've done. A very predictable and easy profit margin of up to 75%. Predictable being the key word here, because you know exactly how much each garment costs you. It's very easy to figure that out. We'll go into it once we get into the economics. I'll explain why. You can attract all types of new business with samples, put their logos and campaign images onto a shirt. This is probably the most successful way that I've heard anybody, and we got this specifically from a customer, and he was kind enough to open up his books and show us what his true potential was and what he did. And it dawned on me that what he was doing was brilliant. And in fact, now I tell all my customers when they purchase that this is one of the first things that they should do. 2 things, actually. First thing is they contact every screen printer, embroiderer in their area, anybody that would be doing shirts, and offer to do their small runs for them. Because with a garment printer, you now have that capability. 1 shirt, 1,000 shirts, 1 color, 1,000 colors, your cost is the same. This is good for 2 reasons. 1, you can pick up that extra business. 2, you can recognize who your competition truly is. The second thing is, and this is where it really paid off for him, was every week he would identify 20 businesses, whether that's a school, junior high, police department, fire department, bar, restaurant, commercial industrial area. One he even told me about a dog show that he went to. And he printed up sample shirts, and he made them seasonal. So for today, it's very appropriate because it's, we're electing our next president, maybe an American flag that you drop off to all these different places. And on there you put no minimums, no setup fee, unlimited colors, 24-hour turnaround time. And you drop it off. And he identified 20 of these businesses, and he would do it. And he did it 20 different businesses every week for the first 90 days he owned his printer. And that first 90 days, not only did he pay off his printer with that idea, but that first 90 days marketing effort generated enough business to keep him busy the rest of the year. And that's so substantial. And all he's really doing is highlighting his competitive advantage, how he just became better than the local screen printer, how he became better than the person doing transfers. From a cost perspective, it all took him, he was spending about $1.75 for a basic white T-shirt, and he was putting 25 cents worth of ink on it. So he had $2 in at 20 different places he would stop by. His total marketing budget was $40 a week. And over a month, $160. And that was his total marketing budget. And he was able to pay off his machine and keep him busy the rest of the year. Anytime he finds that it gets a little slower or he wants to ramp up and increase the amount of income, he goes out and he does the same thing and identifies the businesses that he can pick up. Trust me, there's quite a few out there. So take a day when you get your printer and do that. Take a 4-hour period and drive around to those places. There's also near zero turnaround time and personalization. That's another thing you could put right on that shirt. Well, one customer was explaining to me how he picked up a police department, and it was their SWAT team. So he only needed about 25 shirts to do. The head of the SWAT team member only needed about 25 shirts, but the way he picked up their business was he was able to individually put the badge number on the pocket of each shirt. Something so simple for you with a garment printer, but so cumbersome for a screen printer. Eliminate lead times, ship times, and middlemen from the equation. For all of you listening right now that are outsourcing, having the control and getting higher margins is a win-win. Being able to deliver on a time frame when you're not straddled with your screen printer or whoever, it's a win for you. So let's get a little bit more specific to industries. Now I'm going to gloss through this just a little bit, but even though this may not be your specific industry, it's important to understand a few things that can make it easier for you, even if this doesn't specifically relate to you, and that's why we're going to go through this a little bit faster. But what are some of the parallels to garment printing and signs? Well, right now, the technology is virtually the same. Anybody that's in the wide format realm, if you can operate that printer that you're using, you can operate the Anajet. It's the same kind of concept. Similar software, which means for you, a much faster learning curve. You'll be blazing under a week, I'll guarantee it. You have market expectations for a demand for faster turnaround times. You already have an established customer base, so you can be that one-stop shop. Imagine giving every single one of your customers that you have their artwork already, throwing in a free $2 shirt, your cost, that has their logo printed on it and something under it that says, "We now do shirts." It's a great way to pick up extra business. And, of course, why turn away business? Why push business elsewhere? And then you, again, understand the idea behind high customization and personalization. And even if you aren't turning it away and you're outsourcing it, what does that mean for you? It means if you bring it in-house, bigger margins. Now, screen printers. The market expectation these days is a personalized market. I see it more and more every day. I'm on the inside of what is out there and where a lot of major technology is going. And let me tell you something, everybody wants it customized. They want an original. You have the ability now with mass personalization. You can market at one. Great examples are Cafe Press, Zazzle, places like that, where you can order one shirt at a time. And you can make your shirt one at a time. These Cafe Press and Zazzle have built multi-million dollar business off of that model. I can do the same thing for you with a garment printer. I can even get you the website that'll give you that ability. Speed, customized, personalized. Faster learning curve for you because you understand how ink and garments react together, especially if you're working with water-based inks in the screen printing realm. You understand the feel, the concept, and what it is. You'll also be able to have some of the differences of say yes to every short run that comes in. Stop turning away that business. 1, 10, 50 shirts. Enable full color digital prints at high volumes as well. For your screen printers, the Empower 10 is fast enough. I'll take a step back. Before the Empower, garment printing realistically was for probably 100 shirts and under, and you'd only go up to 100 shirts if you had something that had 7, 8 colors in it. At that point, if it didn't have that, you would probably still take it to a screen printer because it was more cost effective because of the time. And when you factored in labor and cost, ink costs, et cetera, it didn't make sense. The printers have grown so substantial in the technology that now I can realistically, on an Empower 10, I can be as competitive as a screen printer up to about 500 shirts, plus or minus 50 shirts. That's the speed and the capacity that these garment printers are, and that's where the industry is trending. It's important for all screen printers to realize that the digital revolution is here. Customer comes in, you just did 1,000 short order form, you've already reclaimed the screens and cleaned everything all up, and they come back in and say, I need 10 more. There's your garment printer. Embroidery. You have similar market expectations to screen printing and signs. You already have an established customer base. Start offering this in tandem with it. You have a specific faster learning curve because you're familiar with vectored art. You get Corel, which a lot of people use. You know how to get the most out of your graphic because you have to get the most out of your graphic to get a desirable result on your embroidery machine. Now, where are the differences, though? Embroidery takes a while. Whereas I can print a shirt on the MP10 in 15 seconds. So you'll have a higher profit per hour, less labor for you. Print a sample on demand, faster than a sew out, no backing, no hooping, no assigning threads, no cutting, trimming, etc. It's done. You print, you put the shirt down, you hit a button, you're off and running. Potentially one operator versus 2 or 3, depending on the setup that you have. There's a lot of parallels, and I'll put it to you this way. This is how we know embroidery embraces this technology big, because 30% of our business, 30% of our customer base, embroiderers. Promotional products. Now, these are my favorite people. All the promotional products people are people that are they're salespeople. They get it. They understand the concept of excitement and delivery and doing what it takes. You have a similar expectation for your speed, your customization, your personalization. It's about the easiest transition out of any other field out there for people that are in the promotional products field to garment printing, because you get your clients. You not to say that the other people in different segments of the industry don't, but you guys have really carved out a niche. And promotional products was really developed specifically, and I'm using this in reference to shirt when it comes to garments. Promotional products was developed because they sell shirts and not have to carry wide, huge equipment. I mean, if you really look at just a basic 4-station automatic press or manual, you got something that's 10 feet by 10 feet. Do you want that if you're working out of your home? Or do you want a printer that's 3 feet by 3 feet that can sit in the corner? Not to mention the storing the screens, disposing of the ink correctly, all of that stuff. So Promotional Products was a byproduct of the screen printing process. So now you have the ability, you still stick with your bread and butter, but now you have the ability to bring something in-house, a garment printer, in-house, and make it yourself with a much bigger margin and control your turnaround times. You avoid the lead times, like I said. You can create samples on demand, and your margins could realistically go from 25% to 75%. And ask yourself this, as a promotional product person. How many shirts are you moving in a week? Are you moving 100, 500, 1,000? Now take that number, what your margin is, just double it. Don't even take it up the whole way, but just double that. And how much more money, how much more revenue would that be for you by doing it yourself? So for Anajet, what are some of the business advantages for everybody out there? And I know I went over this, but we're going to go in a little more detail. Easy to learn and use, and many startups even use it. For all the startups out there that have no printing experience at all, there's a reason why we give our customers free lifetime technical support, free lifetime software upgrades, free training on the printer. This is a basic technology. It's a heck of a lot easier to learn how to garment print than it is to learn how to embroider, to learn how to screen print. I don't want to make it sound too simple, but it's a printer. It's what it is. It's nothing crazy. It's a printer. It's a minimal footprint in your office, garage, shop, van. So if you're working out of your house or you're working in a small space, retail space, anything like that, you don't have this huge piece of equipment taking up this valuable real estate. If you have a customer base, you already have a head start with their graphics, logos already stored. That helps you. It doesn't mean if you don't have the customer base, you can't go out and get it with using the example I said before with printing 20 shirts and hitting up every bar, restaurant, police department, fire department, etc. Differentiate your business. Those sample shirts. We have $3 cost for a lead. We always try to go a little bit high with our recommendations, but you know, go online right now to Sanmar, Gildan, Delta, wherever you want to go, and find out what could you pick up 100 white blank tees for? I bet it's anywhere between $1.50 to $2.25. You can put 20 cents worth of ink on that, and there's your marketing material. Just to cover that one more time, I want to tell you how powerful this is, and this customer brought this to my attention, the same guy. He said to me, he goes, Adam, he goes, you're a good guy, you're a good salesman, you know what you're doing, but if you hand out 100 business cards at a trade show, you'd like to get all 100 people actually keep the business card. Realistically, maybe 5 or 10 do. Those other business cards get lost on a desk. I'm looking at my desk now. I have about 20 scattered all over it. Fall down the crack of the door in your car, in your seat cushion, wherever. That's the reality of business cards. It's just that's the case. People throw them away. But if you hand somebody a shirt, nobody throws away a shirt. People keep shirts. It may sit on their desk, but it's a lot more relevant to them than a business card. Maybe it ends up in their dirty laundry, their rag bag, in their closet. And the guy comes out and goes to wash his car, and he pulls out his shirt, and oh, yeah, Adam at Anajet. Ever since he told me this, I make sure that every show I go to, I hand out a shirt. I make sure that every customer that walks away from our booth has a shirt in their hand. Differentiate your business, sample shirts, like I said, as little as 90 days to pay off per our customers. And we'll show you a couple different examples of that later on with some of our customer testimonials, but we've had a huge majority of our customers pay off their printer within the first 90 days. So how do you make the perfect shirt? What does it take? There's not a whole lot to it. The Anajet ink prints last the life of the garment. The key to it is curing, just like anything else. As long as you hit your time and temperature, you're gold. It has excellent sunlight resistance, has a softer hand than a screen printed shirts. Why? Because it's a water-based ink. It actually gets absorbed into the fabric. Feels really nice and soft. It stretches with the shirt. Doesn't stick to you on a hot day. You can tell your customers to wash in cold for added longevity. I have tons of shirts in my closet that I printed on the Anajet. I'm probably the worst person at doing laundry, and I don't even look, and my shirts have held up for years and years. So let's talk about the Empower. This is our new baby. We have two of them, the Empower 5 and the Empower 10. The Empower 10 is the fastest direct-to-garment printer on the market. For rapid return on your investment, like I mentioned before, we give you first-class technical support and training free, as well as free lifetime software upgrades and free lifetime firmware upgrades. And that is not through a dealer or distributor. That's through the manufacturer. That's us. How nice is it that you actually get to work with a manufacturer? We're the only garment printer that's made and supported in the United States of America, down here in beautiful California. We also have set up a network and are continuing to grow that network of field technicians all over the country. Guys that can help with whatever you might need, whether it's a training thing or just a couple quick questions. You can contact our home office here and contact our field or our tech support department here. We've had these field techs in place to help better serve our customers. You have a lot of different endless possibilities when it comes to extended media. Extended media printing on different substrates. Been able to print on wood, glass, metal. We just came out with a hat platen so that you'll be able to print on that. Canvas. You'll also be able to print with foil, giving metallic effects. Something that can add a little bit of extra, just a little bit of extra flair to your garment so that you can pick up that business or charge a little bit more for it. We've been able to print in 3D, all sorts of different things, and there's a section later on that'll highlight a few of those. But what has made the Empower the most technologically advanced garment printer made? Here it is. Something called a closed-loop circulating ink delivery system. Very, it sounds way more complicated than what it is. Basically, the closed-loop system is a sealed system. We prevent any air, contaminants, anything from touching the ink until it's out into the shirt. Now, why do we do that? Because inside the ink, there's a substance called titanium dioxide. Okay, it's the pigment. It's what makes white ink white. Look around your office or wherever you're at right now. Anything that you see that has white in it, that's because it has titanium dioxide giving it that color. Now, titanium dioxide is great for that, but it has two problems. The first problem is that when it comes in contact with air, it immediately dries. I mean, it's almost instantaneous. So the best way I've been able to describe it is if you've ever had a bucket of paint that you left the top off of and you get that film on the top, that's the reaction with titanium dioxide and air. That's why we have the closed-loop system. We have it sealed off. So no air touches the ink until it's out onto the shirt. But that only gets us about 90% there. Titanium dioxide also is a lot heavier than the rest of the ink, like oil and water kind of, so to speak. What happens is it literally, if the printer sits too long, it settles in the line. The titanium sits in the line. It's like a clogged artery. Sits there too long, it'll build up, build up, build up, boom, you have a clog. Which is why anybody that's done any garment printing research, you look around to what people had to deal with in the earlier models of garment printing was a daily maintenance routine. That daily maintenance routine was strictly keeping the ink at the viscosity levels that you wanted it at. So you had to do something daily to prevent it from settling into drying out. And we've taken that off the table for you with our closed-loop circulating ink delivery system. Because every hour when the printer's not being used, pumps are engaged, and it actually circulates the ink throughout the printer, mixes it up. Think of it like a cement truck. As long as that cement truck's spinning, the cement can't set. Same kind of concept. We constantly keep the ink moving, so it's always at the viscosity that you need it to be at, which drastically cuts down your maintenance. Better ink flow results. What does that mean for you? It means less head cleaning, greater ink economy. And I can guarantee you this. Guarantee it. The Anajet Empower has the best ink economy out of any other garment printer out there because we have less maintenance than any other printer out there. Less maintenance, easier maintenance, 5 to 15 minutes a day when in daily use. Less downtime, lower usage costs. If you're using the printer every day, you know what you do every day? You walk in, you do something called a nozzle check. You put a piece of paper down on the front of the printer, you hit this little nozzle check button, it goes in, comes back out, and you can see your 6 nozzles and how they're firing. Brakes in the bars, you do a print head clean 1. Then you do a nozzle check, you're back up to running, and you start printing. That's your daily startup, okay? If you don't use the printer for a day, 2 days, 3 days, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. But when you come back, you have to do that. Full control of ink flow volume means full ink saturation in a single print pass. What this basically means is that I can push more ink out through the print head than our competitors, which is why we have a faster print speed, which means I don't need to travel multiple times over one spot to saturate a garment. Now here's some additional features that are really kind of cool with the Anajet RIP software. Software comes with the printer. And like I was mentioning before, free lifetime software upgrades. You can drag and drop all the media you need to into the application, JPEGs, TIFFs, PNGs, and pretty much every Adobe file out there, including Photoshop. You can remove background color. So if you have a JPEG, for example, that automatically has a white box around it, all you need to do is click on the white box with this, and it'll remove the white box for you. There's also an ink cost calculator. So even before you print the job, you can determine how much that print is going to cost you, and then adjust accordingly. There's also a lot of different advanced art customization when it comes to actually having the print fade into the shirt. And that's really, if you want some more details about it, you can talk to me offline and I can really go into detail, but I could go on for 15, 20 minutes about just that. Like I said, unlimited updates. Anytime we make an improvement to the software, we notify you. You download it directly off our website, free of charge. There's also an LCD preview on the printer itself. It's a little control panel. It sits right on top of the you want or anything that's in your job list. It also has 8 gigs of memory there. So what's nice about it is you can store all your jobs on your control panel. So if you have a couple customers that continually come back and have the same type of graphics that they want printed, you don't have to re-rip any file or re-mess with the software or Photoshop, Corel, anything like that. All you have to do is find the job, put the shirt down, and hit print. There's an easy job list selection and an enhanced preview screen. And then, of course, all languages are recognized. Now, here's an interesting take. Now, this was actually given to us by SGIA. There's a little note down at the bottom. It says Empower MP10 speed based on SGI digital equipment evaluation as of January 2012, so earlier this year. You can go to sgia.org and join for full access to all of these reports. And if you want to see proof of it, you can click on that link, and that will take you to an actual production test run that we did to show how truly fast this printer is and what you can get out of it. But on a basic white t-shirt, the MP10 per SGIA took 16 seconds. Now the MP5 is virtually the exact same printer, just slower. That's all. The MP10 is twice as fast as the MP5. So on a white shirt on the MP5 takes about 30 to 40 seconds. Black shirts on the MP10 took about 48 seconds. On the MP5, about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Now reasonable output, 10 hours per day, 5 days per week. You can see those are your potential daily production, your monthly production, and your yearly production capability. And this is probably the most important part of determining what is going to be the right fit for your business. Look at those numbers and find out what is your daily production. Do you print over 500 shirts a day? If you do, the MP10 is where you need to be. Do you print under 500 shirts a day? The MP5, maybe even the Sprint if it's lower than that. That's the way you determine if it's going to be the right fit for you. We also, just so that you're aware, we have a trade-up program. Basically what happens is you get the Empower 5, for example, and if your business grows to the point where you need a higher production, say 500 shirts per day, you can upgrade to the MP10 just by paying the difference. Now here's I love the MP10s, don't get me wrong, but I love the Sprint. The Sprint is what put Anajet on the map. The Sprint is the top-selling direct-to-garment printer worldwide. There are more Anajet Sprints out there than any other printer out there, but give us another 6 months and we'll probably pass it up with the Empower. First released in June of 2009, and it's been a solid printer for us year in and year out. A very reliable workhorse with the printer. Routine maintenance once a week, pretty easy stuff. It's very light and portable, has a smaller footprint than the Empower. The Empower has a footprint of 4 feet by 4 feet. The Sprint has a footprint of 3 feet by 3 feet. That's only 82 pounds, and we get a lot of customers that plan on traveling with the printer. And I'm going with the Sprint because it has it's a little easier to move around. Like I said, only 82 pounds. Has an extremely fast ROI. Customers report 5 months to weeks. Again, you get the same quality that you would with an Empower. Prints on shirts, bags, and other substrates. Main difference between the Sprint Empower 5 and Empower 10, just a little bit slower. This takes me to this next page. A white shirt is 60 to 90 seconds. Dark shirts, 2 to 3 minutes, based off a standard 12 by 12 print. Reasonable output, and this is a great example of what you should be looking at too. Maybe the Sprint might be the one in, just like on the last slide. On a per day, 100 to 300 light shirts, 50 to 100 dark shirts. If you fall into that category of that's your daily output, maybe the Sprint is where you need to be. Per month, per year. And again, Sprint speeds based off SGI digital equipment evaluation on sgia.org. So what's the business case? Cost of ownership. A fully loaded cost of a printed white shirt is $2.50 to $3. Varies according to blank type and graphic size, of course. But you know, use $3. I know in my example earlier I said it was costing them $2 to do it, but you know, let's err on the side of caution and use $3. Average retail price, $15 to $18. That's a national average based off our surveys for retail. You could go even higher, $30, $40 I've seen. But you can see that even at $15, it's a gross profit of $12 per shirt. Very conservative on the retail end. Now, wholesale is going to be a little bit different because it's all going to be based off quantity and the amount of colors and the amount of prints that you're doing. The more colors, the more you could probably get for the shirt. The type of shirt is going to play a part as well. The more shirts, bigger probably the margin, or I mean bigger of the actual profit because you'll be doing higher quantities, but the lower the margin. Because at some point, you're going to have to start being more competitive with a screen printer. For example, if a screen printer is doing 102 colors, they may be only charging $7, $8 for those shirts on a per shirt basis, whereas if you want to be competitive with that, you're going to have to be right in that range or show that you can do more and charge a little bit more. That being said, you're still making $4 per shirt on a minimum. On 100 shirts, you made $400. Not bad. Production capacity of 200 or 20,000 to 200,000 shirts per year, depending on the printer that you go with. And the key to success: quality output, volume, and efficient production. Can't say it more than that. I mean, that truly is. I mean, you need to go out there and get the sale. You need to do all these things with the printer, and it's important to do it all. But efficient production, what you do day one with the printer will be night and day with what you do 2 weeks with the printer. You'll be that much more advanced. And I would say, out of all the customers I had, realistic time frames, learning curve, are anywhere, depending on the customer's background, 2 to 4 weeks. You'll be a pro with the printer. Now, just so that you're aware, all these numbers are our pricing guidelines, courtesy of Creative Promotions, which is a customer of ours. We try to get a lot of our intel and what our customers experience from our actual customers, not just throwing out arbitrary numbers. So what about outside of garments? What else can you do? Well, like I was mentioning before, we've been able to print on wood frames, glass, canvas, highlight metal foil applications, and now hats. So there's a lot of different things. So don't pigeonhole yourself to just shirts and sweatshirts. You know, really branch out. I had a customer do curtains. I've also had a customer do dining room cloth tables. These are all different things and different ideas that you can do. There's so much opportunity there, and really my recommendation is, if you ever are working with somebody and you maybe print out something that different things that you can do. We've done beer koozies, we've done mouse pads. There's all sorts of different stuff that you can do, and you want to make sure that you let your customers know that you have that opportunity as well. People love those promotional items. So here's a good list. The list I gave you before about who you should go after, is identify people that buy shirts, like I said, police departments, fire departments, schools, things like that. Save this list right here. Write it down, because here are the top places that purchase shirts. I'm sure you guys probably already know this. It looks very familiar to you. The ones in bold are the biggest ones: corporate branding, the nonprofits, athletic teams, schools. But retail stores, interior designers, government agencies, ad agencies, manufacturing areas, food services, healthcare. Healthcare is a great one with doing scrubs and things like that. I can't tell you how big that's been for one of my customers in Kentucky. Hospitality services, exhibit manufacturers, transit, business to consumer. There's a very, very large market out there. And when I hear people say, well, it's really competitive, no, not really. It's not really that competitive, because you're now offering more than what is currently available. And you can now be competitive in price and in quality, and you can attack these areas. Now here's Jason with IHS Printing. He has 4 Anajet printers in his shop, and he recently just got the MP10, and that has improved his productivity tenfold, so much that we had to buy more heat presses just to keep up with it, which is pretty cool. And I would recommend, actually, if you do get the MPower 10, if you're really trying to maximize the production of the printer, it might not be a bad idea to get at least 2 heat presses or a conveyor tunnel dryer of some sort. Landau Printing. This is a customer that actually has a Sprint, which is a great segue. You can see how he's utilized it. Last month in November, we generated $13,000 worth of product on the printer. We've documented over $250,000 worth of sales. It took us approximately 5 months to achieve ROI. We feel so strongly about this machine that we say it prints money. We really feel that Anajet has a stake in our success, and you couldn't pay us to replace this machine. There's a video interview of Mr. Landau on our website if you guys want to take a look at it. Really kind of cool what he's done and how he's done it for this customer base. Creative promotions. Chuck Northcutt, actually, who's started as a customer but now has turned into a dear friend of mine, so much so that anytime I'm up in his area, I make sure I stop and we at least have dinner together. We finished our first full production run on the MP5. They ran 250 of the attached graphics, the one on the right there, in 5 hours. They had a 0% fallout rate. Think about that. They ran 250 shirts, and not one of them ended up in the trash. So at $1.40, it estimates the ink will cost about 19 cents. This was actually before we had the ink cost calculator. The ink cost calculator on it is now new. So at $1.45 for each, 19 cents in ink at $10 per hour. He has 20 cents in labor per shirt. So a total cost of $1.84 per shirt with a resale of $13 gives me a profit of $11.16 per shirt. He made $2,790 in profit in 5 hours. If you did that 5 days a week, which we all wish we could, right, with 260 weekdays in a year, it would generate $725,000 in profit. And he says, again, we're printing so fast, it's needed to bring in another heat press. You know, obviously we'd all like to have that kind of, those kind of jobs rolling in. You know, who wouldn't want $725,000 worth of profit? And that's on the high end of what the potential is. So I think it's important to look at, but we also should be realistic. If you were generating right now 250 shirts a week at $2,790 in profit a week, that would be $10,000 in profit a month, or maybe $120,000, $130,000 in profit, meaning after expenses, after paid for everything, $120,000 in profit a year. What would that do for your business? At 250 shirts a week. Here's Eastern Shore Signs. Andy Buckholz, again, one of my customers. Been in the printing industry since 1989. He's in Cape Charles, Virginia. In fact, I was just checking out his Facebook. He posted a video for all those that saw the pictures of Superstorm Sandy. Man, such an amazing kind of situation out there. My heart goes out to him. And he had luckily his house is about 7 feet off the ground, but he had a full-on river in front of his house. It was insane. But he's in Cape Charles, Virginia. He has a population of 1,200. He's a one-man shop. He's in the sign industry. Does vinyl cutting, routing. He bought his Anajet Empower 5, and actually since then he's upgraded to the MP10. I might have to change that. He just recently did that last month. And he said overnight the Anajet printer caused a 35% increase in all business. 4,500 garments since March 2012. In June, he had $21,000 in total sales just on his Anajet. And you know how he did it? Same way I told you before, where he went out and dropped off free samples, and he went to his current customer base, and he gave them free T-shirts on there. So here's something kind of cool that we did for our customers. We allied ourselves with a company called Inksoft. Inksoft is they're basically website developers. What they do is they create a website and they customize it to your needs and wants, where your customers can go online, order shirts directly from you, whether they can pick from graphics that you've uploaded, or they can pick from a database of thousands of graphics that you'll have access to just by working with Inksoft. Or they can even upload their own graphics, design their own shirts, and order it that way. We set you up with this website. There's a special license designed exclusively for Anajet customers, and it's valued at $1,000 to have them basically build the website for you, but we pay for it. Like I said, Premier Online T-shirt Design Suite and Order Management. You can create up to 4 customized websites for your various customers. So if you have a school, for example, that you do a lot of business with, you can set up their own personal website for them, so that all of their school graphics are already on there with all the different kinds of shirts that they want and all the different sizes that they want, and you can immediately just order directly from that. They can. You can also upgrade to add an e-commerce and network outsourcing capability for only $4.99. If you add an extra $500 to it out of your pocket, you can have, they can, instead of just ordering the shirts online, they can actually pay for the shirts online. I would say pay the $500 and do it. I think it's worth it. But we take care of the first initial 1,000. If you need any more information about it, you can click the link, the Empower /business in a box, and it'll show some more. Or contact your regional manager here, and I can send you videos and template websites of what it looks like, so you can see. Most importantly, though, I think the main thing is it adds a sense of legitimacy to your business. Whether you're a smaller business or a larger business or just a brand new business, you know, having a web presence is huge. If I'm looking to get something done, say on my car, and I'm looking for a good mechanic, and I go to a mechanic's website, and it's not user-friendly, not very easy to navigate, maybe not good graphics, I'm going to not hold that place in highest regard as someplace that would. And that's the same kind of concept with this. This is a very legitimate, professional-looking website. So it lets your customers know that you're not messing around, that you have this care for them. And the reason why we do this for you is because we constantly are looking for ways to increase your production. And it's not just because we're nice people. I mean, we want more printer sales and more ink sales, et cetera, et cetera. So we always look at it as how can we make our customers more successful? And this was one of the ways. The other ways, too, are the applications that we come up with, the wood and metal, glass, foil, et cetera. So let's head off to the questions. I already saw that there's a few. I'm going to do my best to get through all of them. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and shoot them over. Joey asked, can it print on synthetics or 100% cotton only? What about pre-treating? Good question, Joey. Yeah, you go ahead. Print on synthetics. 100% poly, spandex, nylon, go for it. The one caveat is dark synthetics are a little bit harder. We've been able to duplicate pretty desirable results with white ink on dark synthetic fabrics, but we personally don't feel like it's a home run, so we don't market it until we do feel like it's a home run. But light synthetics, go for it. Not a big deal. You'll be off and running. Obviously, any blends, tri-blends, 100% cotton, you'll hit a home run with as well. He also asked, oh, I forgot, what about pre-treating? Yeah, there is a pre-treatment process for any dark shirts. Anytime you're printing basically with white ink, you need to have the shirt pre-treated. Now, we get you all the pre-treatment that you need, and there's a couple different methods and ways to do it. I guess it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. The most common way is with a Wagner motorized spray gun where you just spray it on. There's also pre-treatment machines that you can look at, and we recommend a few. And then there's also a big influx of companies that are starting to offer pre-treated shirts, so you'll be able to just buy them treated. So it doesn't seem like it'll be a big problem. Jason asked, how does it handle buttons and zippers? It's great. You know, the way that the printers are built is if any part of the substrate is higher than this little laser sensor as it's traveling into the machine, it'll kick it back out so that you don't have any print head strikes. So basically what I'm saying is what you do is you lay it down and you send it through, and if it kicks it back, just lower your table. That's the easy way out of it. Ideally, you want your print head to be as close to the fabric that it's printing on as possible. So you can also use something that we've come up with here. It's called our pocket print adapter. And this particular adapter raises up portions of the shirt and lowers other portions below so that you can get nice and close. It comes free with the printer. So, Joey asked, does it discolor the shirts? You know, Joey, if you ever have a big, if you're pre-treating and you have a discoloration, the one that I see it happen with more than anything is red, and red is just a fickle color. It just is tough, and it's tough with screen printers too, and the stuff they have to go through with red shirts too. That's why you don't see a lot of red shirts out there. But the best way to make sure that it doesn't discolor the red shirts is 2 ways. Make sure you use distilled water. If you use regular tap water, there's a lot of minerals and things like that in the tap water that'll discolor the shirt. Distilled water will eliminate that. Or, excuse me, buy shirts that are already pre-treated that are red, because the entire shirt will be treated. John asks, so with retail, with custom designs, what is the best resource to find custom graphics and designs inexpensively? You know, John, the best way to do it, honestly, is to just make sure you set up Inksoft. It's going to be the most efficient way, because you'll have access to thousands and thousands of different pieces of clip art for all range of products, whether it be with schools, fire, like I was saying, all the different stuff we've discussed, fire departments, police departments. I mean, the amount of clip art that you'll have in there, where you'll be able to not only manipulate that clip art, but you'll have high quality images. Like I said, we try to set all that stuff up for you, like a one-stop shop. Joey, yeah, that's what you've seen. Yeah, the red shirts. I hear you, man. It's always a tough one with red, but definitely distilled water, like I said, or buy the shirts that are already pre-treated where the whole thing is. Joe, could you explain printing on hats? Yeah, we just got this new hat flatten. Contact your RM and he'll be able to send you a video. We have this new little 3-minute video that shows how it's done, but basically it flattens the hat down and it compresses it so that so you can print on the portion of the hat that you want to print on. It's pretty cool. And we've already seen, since we launched it, I think it was just a couple weeks ago, we've already sold quite a few of them. Chris asked, can I add customized images to the Inksoft Max website? Yeah, you can. You can add your own artwork there, which is really neat, especially for all you creative people out there. You can really have a lot of fun with it. You know, before we move on to questions, because I'm sure people are going to jump off here, I just want to remind everybody that we are running the Thanksgiving promotion. It's going to be good until the 21st. Contact your RM. But some of these savings are ridiculously substantial. The stuff that my boss put in front of me on Monday was better than what I've seen all year. Let me put it that way. We have some amazing specials. So if you're really looking to take advantage of IRS 179, which is some tax benefits, by purchasing this calendar year on any asset, or you want to just get a great deal and a bunch of freebies, call us up, because we'll have some really great show prices. Oh, Josh. Oh, hey, Josh. Jason Bryan did excellent red shirts for me. Nice. Yeah, Jason knows what he's doing, but he does it the right way. But the reason why he knows what he's doing is because he works hand in hand with our tech support department here. It's why we give our customers free lifetime technical support, to make sure that they get everything that they need. So if you run across a situation with your printer and you wanted to, you have a question on, like, man, you know, this red shirt just isn't coming out right, or my image just looks pixelated, or whatever the case might be, you call us up. That's what we're here for. I mean, that's what we pay these guys for, and they're professionals at it. And keep in mind, this is all we do. We do all of this. We don't make screen printing equipment. We don't make wide format printers. We don't make embroidery machines. We make direct-to-garment printers, and we're, excuse my language, we're damn good at it. Cindy asked, where can you see an actual printer demonstrated? You know, Cindy, contact your RM and talk to them about that. I'm sure there's somebody in your area, maybe a field technician. We have a lot of videos online. Check that out. We also do a lot of shows, although the shows are kind of winding down for the year. I think we only have one more in Atlantic City. But contact your RM and he'll be able to help you out with Jason asks, has anyone printed on shoes? We have, absolutely. Yeah, we've been printing on shoes for a couple years. Mostly the Converse style ones, or the Vans type shoes. Those work the best because they're actually cloth, not rubber or treated fabric. But they work really great. Josh, you need that Inksoft? All right, man. Shoot me an email. We'll get it taken care of. Also, okay, let's see. What's this last one? Oh, price. Guys, I can't believe we didn't talk about price. All right, here's the prices. The Anajet Sprint is $18,450. The Anajet M-Power 5 is $26,950. The Anajet M-Power 10 is $37,950. But keep in mind, like I said before, we're having that huge Thanksgiving promotion. If you get your printer before the 21st of this month, there's some substantial savings that we can put together for you. In addition to that, we give you the free lifetime technical support, free lifetime software upgrades, and the free training on the printer. So make sure you reach out to us about that, and we'll get it all taken care of. And really kind of find out what is your projected, production that you think you're going to be, and that's going to kind of put you at which printer is going to be the best fit. Are you more fitted for the Sprint? Are you, maybe the M-Power 5? You want the latest and greatest technology, or maybe the M-Power 10 because your production demands it. These are all, these are all things that you want to make sure you consider. And your RM will be able, the regional manager here that you're working with will be able to help you out with that. Let's see. Like there's one more question. Can I go over, okay, yeah, weekly maintenance? Yeah, all right, guys, so both M-Powers and Sprint require weekly maintenance routine. Pretty basic stuff, pretty simple. This is how it works. There are seals on the maintenance station that seal off the tip of the print head from outside influences, because remember, we want to keep it away from air. Over the course of the week of printing, you'll actually end up with buildup on those seals. So once a week, you just clean off the ink. There's also a little wiper blade that's right next to the maintenance station. Okay? That wiper blade, just like any other wiper blade, over the course of a week, builds up ink. So you take that off, clean it off really nice and good. Last but not least, there's on the nozzle plate where the print heads actually are, you want to make sure you clean up any dried ink off there. Realistically, if you do this incredibly thorough, it should take you about 10 minutes a week. 10 minutes a week, you do that, you're going to be sitting pretty. John actually has another training. Can you tell us about your training opportunities? Yeah, John. So we have a few different options for you, and we try to accommodate best we can for our customers. But basically, we do trainings here every Friday at our manufacturing plant in beautiful Southern California. We'd love for you to come down here because we give you a chance to see where we build these things. Plus, it's not a bad thing to come to Southern California. In fact, right now it's about 75 degrees outside. So it's been pretty nice these last few days. Also, when you come to our training facility here, you print on our shirts. You use our ink, which is nice. That doesn't mean, though, that you don't have the opportunity for me to send a field technician out to train you when the printer arrives. I can do that as well. Whatever's easiest and convenient for you. Big thing is, and I know that it's part of the price, the Thanksgiving Day special, but we actually give you, if you do want to come out here, we'll pick up your flight and hotel. We'll pay for it so that you can just, it's basically a free trip to California. Come on out. All you got to do is spend one day locked in a room with a bunch of our tech guys learning the printer. So think about it. It's up to you how you want to do it. Like I said before, most importantly, it's all about convenience. Whatever makes it easy for you guys. Joey asked, the prices that were mentioned were the special prices. No, those were actually the regular MSRP. The special prices we try to individually go over with each customer because we customize it to their needs. So contact the regional manager you're working with so that they can go over everything with you. And then Yeah, the special prices actually include the software and Inksoft. Yeah, it does. All right, guys. Well, that's about it. I do appreciate you jumping on today. I know it was voting day. You're probably all logging off before I say this, but if you haven't voted, go vote. Like I said, though, I do appreciate you jumping in and taking the time out of your day. If you have any questions, contact your RM. If you don't know who that is, contact me. My email is Adam, A-D-A-M, the letter T, @anajet.com. I'm also at extension 157. So you can contact me that way. Anything I can do to help you guys out, I'm happy to do it. And have a great rest of the day.